Hey folks, it's Nick Granville. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I thought I'd talk about AI. Why? Because, well, you know, I'm a pro musician. This is what I do. And there's all this doom and gloom talk around AI, you know what I mean? And maybe some of it's true, maybe it's not. So I'm going to try and put some perspective on it for sort of how I see things. As somebody who makes their living playing this, should we be worried about it? Maybe, maybe not. And I'll get to that. So the first thing we'll talk about with AI, right, is that I don't see AI copying anything of substance, right? I see AI copying, like, people go, oh, it sounds just like Taylor Swift or just like whoever, pop artist that plays bland 3-chord kind of nothing music. And of course the computer's going to try and copy that, right? It's music that's heavily auto-tuned and quantized within an inch of its life, and music that's not particularly creative or interesting, right? And of course AI can copy that. You never ever hear AI copying Stevie Wonder or Prince or James Brown or anything with some kind of real guts about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just don't really hear that. Now, will it? Maybe. I don't know. But I kind of doubt it, right? Because the thing is, that music, what makes it special is the human element to it, the grit, the things that are not going to fit on a grid. Do you know what I mean? So there's kind of that. To me, it's like I see AI copying things. Will AI replace some musicians? Definitely, right? If you're doing bland music, then sure. If you're doing background music that's like for a TV commercial, sure. There's a lot of that kind of stuff's going to disappear, right? People who make their living transcribing music, right? The AI is going to kind of do that kind of stuff. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But that seems like the kind of things that it will. But anything that really matters in music, I don't see it, right? Heard a great thing of Rick Beato. I think it was on Zach's YouTube channel. And he was talking with Rick Beato. And Rick Beato said, never waste a friendship. And I thought that was a great thing to say. Like, that's pretty profound, right? Never waste a friendship. Because the thing with music is it's about people, isn't it, right? Like, the best music I've ever made is when I've made it with other people. If I sit here in my studio with my computer and I put down some stuff and I go, and then I listen back to it and I go, it's okay. But when I've got in a room with other musicians and we've kind of nutted it out and we've kind of worked through things, that's the best music I've made, right? Lennon and McCartney, right? The combination of those two writing together, and countless others. Now, there are people who work on their own really well too, right? But there is some degree of collaboration that seems to be the better element. So I think that's it, right? It's about people. And as Rick said, never waste a friendship, because those are people you want to make music with and kind of create things. If you have some thoughts about this, drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts, because, you know, I'd kind of like to get a dialogue going about this and see where everyone's at. You know, I did a post on my YouTube channel and a bunch of people had some really kind of useful feedback. So if you've got anything you'd like to add to this conversation, then drop me a comment below. I saw a really fantastic video of Dan Huff interviewing Tom Bukovac. And how cool is that, right? I'm a huge Dan Huff fan. I have been since like his days of Giant and his session career in the 80s and 90s. And, you know, I learned a lot of his stuff, you know, that Shania Twain solo for Man, I Feel Like a Woman, and actually all the rhythm guitar parts and stuff too, you know. Huge fan of him and big fan of Tom Bukovac. I knew of Tom Bukovac long before the YouTube thing, because I'm a session guy. This is what I do, right? So it's not all just for show. All these guitars back there on the 2 racks and all these ones. I actually use these, and I use them to make recordings for people all the time. I use them on gigs for, you know, session type gigs, if you want to call it that, where you're backing an artist and you're kind of at the session band, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. Right? Like, that's what I do. So I pay attention to the people doing the stuff. And then, of course, now he's become kind of blowing up on YouTube, which is fantastic to see. But this great conversation with those two, and one thing Tom said that was pretty profound is in the last 10 years, a lot of music has become like generic computer sounding. And that, you know, he thinks that AI is going to have the opposite effect, where people are going to crave something with more of a human element to it. I'm already seeing that, right? Like, for me, there's been an advert on TV for skinny mobile phones, and they use AI for it, and I hate it.
That's right. They've digitally cloned their happiest customer.
I'm here with me. Tell us more about what I've done. I'm a real skinny mobile customer.
And every time I see it, I change the channel or I switch off or I just whatever. And I don't want to use their product now because I'm like, if you're going to push that crap to me, why would I want to watch your stuff? You know what I mean? So to me, my view is kind of like what Tom says, right? That it's the human element that really matters in music. So people are going to crave that even more in an AI world, I think, you know. And I think Tom agrees. So I don't think it's necessarily going to be all bad, right? But I think it's a tool that kind of is useful like everything else. Everybody's using AI whether they know it or not, right? You're probably you do a Google search and it comes up with an AI overview, right? It's built into all these programs. If you use Photoshop and you do some clone work or any of that kind of stuff or spot removal, it kind of does it all with that. So I think what's going to happen with the AI is it's going to be integrated more into our lives and it's going to just be something that we don't even think about. And then there it is. Photoshop's a good example, right? Think about Photoshop. If you see an image of someone who is overly Photoshopped, you'll see this photo and you'll be like, that man or woman, model, whoever, has been Photoshopped. We know how to identify that. And I think the same thing's going to happen with AI. We'll just look at it and go, it's been used there. One thing I hate about AI is I don't think they should be allowed to use our music to train their AI programs, not without permission. That's one thing that grates me about AI. I think that they should have to get your permission to use to train the AI programs off your music, because that's basically a breach of copyright, right? But music, it seems to be okay, right? And same with authors. I know a whole lot of authors have been actually suing AI companies for exactly that. Dan Brown, the author, right, of the Da Vinci Code and all these things, is apparently suing AI companies. Fair enough. I think there's going to be more of that kind of stuff going on. I think a lot more people are going to put their foot down and go, no, it's not okay to do this. Hey, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. I think it's going to be good for a lot of people. It's going to be not so good for some people who aren't creative, but be more creative and you'll be good. Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Talk to you soon. Cheers.